I was backing up and the camera started on its own. Fuck it, we're just gonna go. Good morning. Welcome to my channel. How are you guys doing today? It is a gloomy day here in PA. I'm fine with it. Some people aren't, but I love it. I love overcast days. Um, what are we here for? Not too long ago here on BookTube, I pulled out my sleeves for what? Debbie, for what did you put your sleeve for? I posted about not doing 10 to the end. And because some of us can't do it. Some of us can't commit to TBR piles the second we make TBR piles. That's it. Those books are going to be read way later and not in that order. All right. So I figured in lieu of 10 to the end, I would give my top 10 reads of the year. Now it's only the beginning of December. So, why do it now? Because why not? I've got a little bit of a slump coming on. It's not because of the books I'm reading. November was not kind to me. And I'm just tired. So the books I'm reading at a very leisurely pace. So, I wouldn't be surprised if I don't finish any book by the end of this month. All right. I actually have a list. I don't ever make lists. I just talk off the cuff. But because most of the books are ebooks, there's no way I'm gonna remember them. There's just no way. And so instead of doing that, I was like, I keep looking over there because the list is over there. I figured I'm gonna make the list, so I'm not like third, where is it? And keep pausing. Because you see, I'm very far from my camera. So let me get the 3 that are physical copies. And look, that is my tree. She is a tiny beauty. She's a 4-foot black tree. Look at that. Bam. That is a tombstone. That is a tombstone. Hopefully I didn't mess up the camera. That is a tombstone in front of my Christmas tree. Because that's how I do Christmas. All right? All right. Here we go. These are the physical books. And I'm telling them to... There's no particular order. I'm just... whatever... however they pop up. All right. First one, Kill Your Darlings by Ellie Harper. It is in, I'm going to call this like new adult fantasy. Check your trigger warnings. To be fair, just about any book I read, always check your trigger warnings. I have triggers, but also I will go in blind. I don't give a shit. If it triggers me, I just put the book down, and that's, it's not the fault of the book, it's mine. So, but I say trigger warnings, and then you're grown. You go look for them wherever they have them. And this book does have trigger warnings. Kill Your Darlings, I said, new adult fantasy. This book was a heavy read. Excuse me. I felt very seen reading this. In terms of like the main character's thoughts. And it was just a book that really hit me in my feels. Like heavy. And I've had many books do that over my time. I've been reading for a long time. So, but there's some that hit you like dead in the chest. And this was one of them. Because sometimes you feel very, very alone. And this is one of those books that it's like, I'm not. I know that I'm not. And this made me feel like someone gets it. Someone understands what's going on up here. Fantastic read. Promise Boys by Nick Brooks. I read this at the beginning of the year. And this book stuck with me for a minute. Quick read. So it's not that big. But I mean in quick reading, the chapters are very short. But we have here 3 teens of color. Their principal's dead. And each of the 3, they're being accused of the murder. This is a book, and it's weird in that I've never read a book that had this many point of views, but it wasn't confusing. It added to the story because that was the point of the story, was all the point of views. These boys are in an urban prep academy. I think that's the name of the school. Yeah, Urban Promise Prep. So they're in a prep school. They're from the hood, and it's one of those this is one of the schools they're prepping them so that they're better, they can better themselves. But now their principal is dead. And whether you're from whether you're from a small town or you're from the hood, the rumor mill works the same way. Okay? Now, where I'm from New York, so where I'm from, you mind your business. Like, I'm surprised that's not like the state motto. Just mind your business. But even with that, you'll still turn to your homie and be like, but what happened though? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of that in this, and it's just one of those, like, whether the rumor is true or not, the things that can happen and the things that are said can absolutely change the trajectory of life. And that was prevalent in this book. And this was, like I said, it was a quick read, but it was an amazing read. And don't sleep on it. It was awesome. The actual copy is The Woman in Me by Britney Spears. I mean, I don't say fantastic. I mean, if you've paid any attention to Britney at any point in her life, I mean, you know who Britney Spears is, even if you listen to pop music. She's an icon. But her finally being able to speak her truth and the way she did it, I mean, just proof that she's a better person than me. Because she still did it in the sweetest, most classiest of ways. And she didn't write this book to drop names, to hurt anyone, to talk shit. She just wanted to speak her piece, which she had every right to do, because for the past 20 years, literally everyone, whether they actually knew her or not, had shit to say about this woman. And knowing now, like, her side of the story and the shit that she's gonna deal with forever, because trauma doesn't go away. You deal with it forever. I know that for a fact. So, like, just, and knowing that she's still as sweet a person as she's always seemed to be, it's amazing, honestly. All right. Pow. Very professional. We do things professionally here, okay? On to the list. All right. Again, no particular order. All right. Jesus. Planet Dead, Bloodthirsty. I think it's called Bloodthirsty, and it's a Planet Dead series. That's on me for not double checking and looking it up. But anyways, the author is Sylvester Barzy. Somewhere on here I'll put the title, the cover, so you know what I'm talking about. Zombie apocalypse. Let me tell you something. This is important. I love horror, all kinds of horror. Okay. Hello, my tree is black. I got a tombstone in front of here. Okay, my shirt says "Love me like my demons do." Come on now. Okay, I love horror, not zombie horror. I'm terrified of zombies. Okay, just yesterday I was doing laundry. My partner goes downstairs to play. I think it was Dead Island. As I'm walking down the stairs, he let me know he was playing, and he paused the game so I could, like, switch laundry and then come upstairs. I'm terrified of zombies. Okay, told you that story to let you know that I am terrified of zombies. Okay, but I had read one of his other books, Youngblood. Loved it, and I wanted to give it a shot because I love his writing. And I gave it a shot. I don't regret it. But also, I'm going to take it as a mark of, like, to his writing, because I read the whole thing and I bought book 2 and book 3. So there you have it. Next one, Whale Fall by Daniel Kraus. That book, the whole time, had me sitting there with, like, my eyes wide open. That's another book that was a relatively quick read because the chapters are short. The timelines vary between, like, the past and what's going on, like, in that moment. And it was a wild book. Like, holy shit, that was a wild book. It doesn't feel like it's gonna be a wild book. But great. I mean, it was like I started reading it and I did it. I mean, I binged it. I couldn't put it down. Next one, The Stone Secret, Amanda Tisovich. This is a thriller. First one as her writing as Amanda Tisovich. The author's other name is Amanda McKinney. I love The Stone Secret. I love her writing in general. I've read her other series, the Mad Women series, under Amanda McKinney, but those were short stories, 4 short stories. I should just put the author's name. I swear to God. I picked The Stone Secret, but I'm like, well, I love all her work. And I did read those. Well, there you go. Honorable mention. I did read the Mad Women series. Those are 4 short stories. Worth it. Totally worth it. And Amanda Tisovich is her first full-length thriller novel as that, because I believe she writes like romantic thrillers. This is not a romantic thriller. Um, but great writing. Okay? Perfect Strangers by J.T. Geisinger. Go into that one blind. Go into any book by J.T. Geisinger blind. But she be fucking me up. Because I've read three or maybe four of her books so far. Again, one in blind. People were like, I love her writing. So I just read it. And the whole time you like by the third book, I'm like, oh, she's a twisty writer. I get it. But I don't be figuring out. You just saying like, what the fuck is happening right now? What the fuck is happening right now? What the fuck is happening right now? That's how you stay. So again, like trigger warnings, but also like going blind. Going blind. Okay? Alright. One Little Nightmare by Dawn Darling. Oh, this one was amazing. This is a Pandora's Box retelling. Let me tell you something. I love Greek mythology. It is my jam. I'm Hades Persephone trash all day. I love reading their retellings. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to love that author's version of their retelling, but I always give it a shot. Basically of anyone. I love it. But this was the Pandora's Box one, which I'm not really sure if anyone's ever really done it. They're a lot. People use them a lot for romantic novels, right? This is one of the few times I feel like the author portrayed the gods exactly how the gods are. Because people like to use them for romance, right? But no one ever really portrays them truly how cruel these gods really truly are. Because cruel the fuck they are. And I just feel like no one ever does that. Like, we romanticize them and that's all great. Again, Hades Persephone trash. But they're cruel. Because they can be. And so they are. And this author really, really honed that in. Seeds of Sorrow by Sarah James. It is my first sapphic dark romance. Not my first sapphic book. Yay, ladies. But it is my first sapphic dark romance. And it is a reimagining. It's loosely based on Hades and Persephone. But let me tell you, I loved it. It ends on a cliffhanger. So there's that. I just going blind is better that way. But there's clearly like a whole story being told. It's called the Modern Goddess series. I loved it. Helena is my favorite. I love her. But what was I gonna say? I don't remember. See, imagine if I didn't have this list. Last but not least, this one does top the list. Because let me tell you, this book took my whole heart when I read it. I read it around September. A Long Time Dead by Samara Breger. Hopefully I'm saying her name right. Sapphic Gothic vampire novel. Let me tell you. One of the most beautiful books, like the most beautiful book probably I have ever read. I feel like this is a book that, yes, some people are like it's too slow, not enough happened. But not for me. Not for me. I feel like everything happens. Seeing these two fall in love, the two main characters fall in love, and the way they did it and what they were up against, and just, like I can't. I'd give it 10 stars if I could. And I must say that although they were ebooks, I'm the kind of person that if I love an ebook, I want it on my shelves. I don't know what it is. I know I'm not the only one like that. There are many of us like that. It's just a thing. You want to see it. It's your baby. And so for all of these books, yes, at some point or other, whenever I can, the finances, baby. The finances don't be there. When I can, I will be buying these in paperback or hardcover, however, whichever one's the best option for me, to put them on my shelves. Because I have to have them. Because I love them. And although I love my Kindle Paperwhite, I love it. She is good to me, especially when I have a migraines. But there's something just about holding the book in your hands. For me, it's just, I love it. Again, I'm not knocking ebooks. I love ebooks. I have a shit ton of ebooks. They're a lot more cost effective to buy. A lot of authors offer them for free. You can borrow them for free from the library even. So again, I'm not getting, I love them. I have a paperweight. But it's just something about having them, walking past them and just being able to be like, hi, I love you, thanks. And just walk back and forth. And that is it for me. All right. I hope any of this made sense. I hope you guys, I don't. All right, look, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope if you do read any of these books, if you have not heard of some of them and you decide you want to pick them up for whatever reason, like maybe I convinced you a little bit to read them, let me know if you like them. Let me know if you hate them. Let me know if they weren't for you. All right? All right. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Like and subscribe. The usual yada, 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 yada. Bye.